Because here's the truth. You'll never reach your full potential as long as you're listening to that voice of doubt. You'll never reach your goals as long as you're letting fear control you. You'll never experience the life you dream of if you keep second-guessing yourself at every step. And let's get something straight. Doubt doesn't stop you, you do. It's not the doubt that's holding you back. It's your reaction to it. It's how much power you give to that voice. It's how much you let it dictate your actions. You have a choice. Every time that doubt creeps in, you have a choice to either let it control you or to ignore it and keep moving. Because let me tell you this, the only way to conquer doubt is to act in spite of it. When you act in the face of fear, in the face of doubt, in the face of uncertainty, that's when you start to shut it down. Because the more you show up and push through it, the quieter that voice gets. And the less you listen to doubt, the more you start to believe in yourself. Self-belief is not about never feeling afraid. It's not about never questioning your abilities. Self-belief is about taking action anyway. It's about trusting that even though you might not have all the answers, even though the road might not be clear, you have the strength, the courage, and the drive to make it through. When you doubt yourself, it's like standing on the edge of a cliff, looking down and being afraid to take the leap. You might think the fall is too great. You might think you won't make it. You might think you're not ready. But here's the truth. The only way to fly is to jump. And let me tell you something about that jump. You might not know how you'll land. You might not know if you'll succeed right away. But once you jump, once you decide to leap into the unknown, the universe will start aligning itself to catch you. So every time you feel doubt creeping in, ask yourself, what would I do if I wasn't afraid? What would you do if you didn't let that voice control you? What would you do if you believed in yourself the way others believe in you? I'll tell you what you'd do. You'd step up. You'd take action. You'd break through that barrier of doubt. And when you do, the world will open up to you in ways you never thought possible. Here's the real test. Are you going to let doubt win, or are you going to step up and show it who's boss? I don't care where you are right now. I don't care what your past looks like. I don't care what failures you've had. The future is wide open for you, but you have to decide to step into it without fear. You have to decide that doubt will not define you. And when you make that decision, when you start acting in the face of doubt, that's when you will start to see things change. Because doubt isn't the enemy, you are your own enemy. You are the one who holds the key. And the moment you realize that, the moment you stop letting doubt control you, you will become unstoppable. So when doubt comes, and it will, don't listen to it. Keep moving, keep believing, keep showing up, and most importantly, keep going. Here's a powerful expansion on push past pain. Let me tell you something you may not want to hear. Pain is a part of the process. It doesn't matter what your goal is. It doesn't matter if it's fitness, career, relationships, or personal growth. At some point, you're going to hit pain. You're going to feel like it's too much. You're going to question if you're strong enough. You'll wonder if it's all worth it. But let me tell you this, that pain is where the magic happens. Because the truth is, pain is not an obstacle, it's an opportunity. You want to grow? You want to achieve greatness? Then you need to learn how to move through the pain, not avoid it. You need to understand that the moment you feel discomfort, the moment you feel like you're about to break down, that's exactly when you're on the edge of something incredible. Most people quit when it hurts. They stop when it gets hard. They give up when they start to feel tired, frustrated, or when things aren't going their way. But that's where the difference lies between those who succeed and those who stay stuck. Winners don't stop when it hurts. Winners keep going because it hurts. They know that every ounce of pain they push through is a step closer to the person they're becoming. So if you're waiting for the pain to go away before you can keep moving forward, I need you to understand something. It's never going to go away. Success is built on the other side of pain. It's built in the moments when your body screams at you to stop, when your mind tells you it's not worth it, when every part of you just wants to quit. That's when you push. That's when you rise. Let me tell you about growth. Growth is uncomfortable. Growth is painful. You cannot grow without stretching yourself, without pushing yourself past your limits, without facing resistance. Look at any athlete, any entrepreneur, any person who has done something extraordinary. None of them got there by sitting back and waiting for things to be easy. They went through the fire. They pushed through the doubt. They kept going when their body was screaming for rest, when their mind was screaming for a break. They kept showing up, even when it hurt. And you know what happens when you keep going? You get stronger. You become more resilient. You develop mental toughness that others can't touch. Pain teaches you what you're made of. It shows you that you are capable of far more than you give yourself credit for. Every time you push through a difficult moment, every time you refuse to back down, you're proving to yourself that you can handle more, and that is power. But here's the thing about pain. It can feel like a roadblock, like something that's holding you back, but the truth is, pain only controls you if you let it. Pain is not here to break you. It's here to build you. It's here to test you. It's here to show you what you're really made of. It's here to reveal to you that your limits are further than you think. So stop running from it. Stop avoiding it. Embrace it. Let it be the thing that pushes you to the next level. Pain doesn't last forever, but the lessons you learn in the pain will last a lifetime. The strength you gain from pushing through will stay with you forever. The person you become on the other side of that pain is a person that you never thought was possible. I need you to understand this. Pain is temporary, but the power you gain from overcoming it is permanent. There will be days when you feel like you're at your breaking point. You'll feel exhausted. You'll feel like you have nothing left to give. But here's the secret. That's the moment you have to dig deeper. When you feel like you have no more fight in you, that's when you need to find more fight. When your body is screaming for rest, that's when you push one more step. Because in those moments, you are forging your character. You are molding your future. You are proving to yourself that you are not a quitter, that you are not someone who stops when it gets hard. The people who win, the people who become unrecognizable, are the ones who push through the pain. They push even when they're tired. They push even when the road is long. They push even when everyone else has fallen back, when everyone else is making excuses, when everyone else is telling themselves, it's too hard. And you can do the same. You are no different. You have the same strength within you. You have the same ability to push through, to rise above, to stand tall when everything inside you says to fall. But you have to make a choice. You have to choose to fight. You have to choose to keep going. You have to choose to ignore the voice that tells you to stop and listen to the one that says, you've got this. Push harder. This is where champions are made. Remember this. The pain is part of your story. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's something to embrace. The moment you stop seeing pain as an enemy is the moment you start using it as fuel. It's the moment you stop letting it control you and start using it to fuel your ambition, your drive, your fire to succeed. So what do you do when it hurts? You keep going. When your body is screaming at you to quit, you push through. When the setbacks come, when the obstacles block your path, when the journey seems longer than you imagined, you keep moving forward. Because the truth is, on the other side of that pain is greatness. On the other side of your struggles is a version of yourself that you can't even comprehend yet. On the other side of that pain is a future that is far beyond your wildest dreams. So when it hurts, don't stop. When you feel like you can't go any further, take one more step, and then take one more after that. Keep going, because this is how you transform, this is how you level up, This is how you break through the barriers. Here's a powerful expansion on stay relentless. Let me tell you something that might sound simple, but it's the most powerful truth you can ever learn. You've got to stay relentless. Relentless. Unstoppable. Unyielding. Because in this world, it's not about being the smartest, the most talented, or the most gifted. It's not about the number of opportunities you get, the resources you have, or the connections you make. It's about your refusal to stop. It's about your ability to keep moving forward when everything inside you is telling you to quit. And that is the difference between those who achieve and those who don't. It's the difference between those who transform and those who stay stuck. You have to be relentless about your goals, relentless about your future, relentless about your purpose. When you want something, you go after it like there's nothing else in the world. Life is not going to hand you anything. Success doesn't just show up at your door, knock, and say, hey, here you go. No, you've got to chase it. You've got to pursue it with every ounce of your being. It's going to get hard. It's going to get painful. It's going to test you. But here's the thing. The struggle is part of the game. If you can't stay relentless when things get tough, you'll never see the fruits of your labor. You've got to be willing to push through the obstacles. When the road gets rough, when the weight of the world is on your shoulders, when the people around you tell you it's too much, you keep moving. Because the people who make it are the ones who keep going when they should have stopped. They're the ones who show up when everyone else sleeps in. They're the ones who keep grinding when the world tells them it's not worth it. And guess what? They don't quit, they don't hesitate, and they don't back down. You have to become obsessed with the process, not just the result. People look at the finish line and want to get there fast. But the true winners fall in love with the grind. They love the hustle. They embrace the struggle because they understand that this is where the transformation happens. It's in the late nights, the early mornings, the sweat, the failures, the setbacks, the doubt. That's where the magic is born. You've got to stay relentless when things aren't going right. When it seems like your work isn't paying off. When you feel like no one sees your effort. When the results aren't coming as fast as you want them to. That's the moment you need to dig deep. That's the moment you need to tell yourself, I will not stop. I will not quit. I will not give in. I will not back down. Because guess what? Your breakthrough is just on the other side of that wall you're about to hit. The moment you're about to give up is usually the moment that change is about to happen. It's usually the moment right before everything clicks. And if you quit right then, if you walk away, you'll never see the other side of that struggle. You'll never experience the success that's waiting for you. You've got to make the decision today that you're going to outwork everyone else. You're going to outlast everyone else. You're going to keep showing up when others make excuses. You're going to do what others won't. And that's what's going to separate you from the pack. Let me be clear about something. There will always be challenges. There will always be times when you don't feel like it. There will always be people telling you it's not worth it, that you should slow down or that you're going too fast. But you can't let those voices stop you. You can't let fear, doubt, or fatigue dictate your actions. You need to be relentless about pushing forward no matter what. When people say you can't, you say, watch me. When life gets tough and everything goes wrong, you say, I will find a way. When others rest, you're still working. When others quit, you push harder. And every time you do this, you make yourself stronger, sharper, and more unstoppable. Your success is not determined by how many times you fall. It's not about how many setbacks you face. It's about your willingness to rise again every single time. It's about your ability to keep getting back up and pushing forward no matter how many times life knocks you down. And here's something you need to realize. The more relentless you become, the more the world will try to break you down. The harder you push, the more obstacles you'll face. The more you rise, the more people will try to pull you back down. But let me tell you something. The haters, the doubters, the ones who try to drag you down, they don't matter. They're not the ones living your life. They're not the ones walking your path. Let me tell you something. Nothing changes until you decide. Not your situation, not your habits, not your future, nothing. You want a better life? You want success? You want to wake up a week from now and feel unstoppable? Then there is only one thing standing in your way: the moment you make a real, unshakable decision. Because let's be real, how many times have you told yourself, I'll start next week? How many times have you said, tomorrow, I'll be serious? How many times have you wanted change but never decided on it? That's the difference between those who succeed and those who don't. The ones who win, they don't wait for the perfect moment. They don't wait for motivation to hit them. They don't wait for things to calm down or fall into place. They decide right there, right then, and once they decide, they don't look back. The problem with most people is they spend their whole lives almost deciding, almost committing, almost changing. But almost doesn't count. Almost won't transform you. Almost won't get you where you want to be. You want real change? You want to become unrecognizable in a week? Then you need to understand one thing. This moment right here is the only thing that matters. Not yesterday, not last year, not the time you failed, not the excuses you told yourself before. Right now. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They don't fail because they aren't smart enough. They fail because they never truly decide to win. They want it, but they don't commit. They hope for it, but they don't demand it from themselves. They talk about it, but they don't act like their life depends on it. Let me ask you something. What if today was the only chance you had to change your future? What if everything you ever wanted depended on what you do right now? Because guess what? It does. You might think you have time. You might think you have next Monday or next month or when things feel right. But how many next Mondays have you wasted? How many times have you looked back and said, if only I had started then, I'd be so much further now? I'll tell you the truth, opportunity doesn't wait. Your dream life isn't waiting for you to feel ready. Your goals don't care about your excuses. And let's get one thing straight. Deciding is not about saying you'll do something. It's about becoming a different person in this moment. It's about eliminating every doubt, every hesitation, every excuse, and making a choice so strong, so powerful, that nothing can shake you from it. You think champions wake up every day and feel like training? You think millionaires wake up every day and feel like working? You think leaders, game changers, the ones who dominate in their fields, are always motivated? Hell no. They don't rely on motivation. They rely on decision. They wake up and act because they already decided long before today came. They don't debate with themselves. They don't give themselves an out. They move like it's already done. That's how you change. That's how you become unrecognizable in a week. The reason most people stay stuck is because they give themselves an option to fail. They decide halfway. They tell themselves, I'll try. They say, I'll see how it goes. But listen to me. There is no trying. There is no seeing how it goes. You either decide with everything in you, or you stay the same. You want to lose weight, you want to make more money, you want to stop procrastinating, you want to be more disciplined, then you make a damn decision. Not tomorrow, not when you feel like it. Right now. Because once you truly decide, the rest follows. When you decide, you don't hit snooze on the alarm. You don't waste hours scrolling through social media. You don't forget to go to the gym. You don't keep toxic people in your life. When you truly decide, you act like the person you say you want to become. And let me be clear, this is not about perfection. This is not about never slipping up. This is about never looking back. This is about not letting one bad day turn into a bad week, a bad month, a bad year. Because when you've decided, failure isn't the end. It's just another lesson. See, the people who really change, they don't waste time beating themselves up when they slip. They don't waste energy crying over what didn't work. They get back up, they course correct, they keep going. Because when you decide, you don't quit. And you know what happens when you don't quit? You win. I don't care where you are in life right now. I don't care how many times you've failed before. I don't care if you think you're too old, too young, too tired, too busy. If you want it bad enough, you can have it. If you are willing to let go of excuses, you can become unrecognizable in a week. If you are willing to commit, not just with words, but with action, with consistency, with everything you've got, you will wake up in 7 days and see a version of yourself you've never met before. But it all starts with a decision. So what's it going to be? Here's a powerful expansion on your habits define you. Let me tell you something. You are not what you say you'll do. You are not what you hope for. You are what you do every single day. That's the truth. You want to change your life? You want to become unrecognizable in 1 week? Then stop focusing on what you want and start focusing on what you do. Because your habits, your daily actions, your routines, they are the foundation of who you are and who you will become. Look at your life right now, where you are, what you have, how you feel. It's all a reflection of the choices you make daily. It's not luck, it's not fate. It's not because life is unfair. It's because your habits, whether good or bad, have shaped you into the person standing here today. You say you want to be successful, but are you showing up like a successful person? You say you want to be in shape, but are you eating and training like someone who is? You say you want discipline, but are you proving it in the small, quiet moments when no one is watching? Because listen, winners don't wait until they feel like it. They don't wait for the right moment. They don't wait for motivation to strike. They do what needs to be done every single day without negotiation. Because that's what success really is. Discipline repeated until it becomes your nature. The problem is, most people think their success is about the big moments, the breakthroughs, the major wins, the big paychecks, the huge transformations. But the truth? The truth is, it's built in the small, boring, daily actions that no one sees. You think a bodybuilder gets strong because of one insane workout? You think a millionaire gets rich because of one big payday? You think champions are made because of one perfect performance? They are built in the repetition, the early mornings, the extra reps, the long nights, the moments when they wanted to quit but didn't, the thousands of times they did the work when no one was cheering. You want to become unrecognizable in 1 week? Start with today. Start with what you do the moment you wake up. Do you grab your phone and scroll, or do you get out of bed and attack the day? Do you let yourself hit snooze, or do you stand up like someone who is in control of their life? Do you waste time, or do you make time count? Every decision you make is shaping you. Every little choice is reinforcing a habit, either a habit that builds you up or a habit that tears you down. And let's be clear, you already have habits. You already have routines. The question is, are they taking you closer to the life you want or pulling you further away? Because if you're stuck, if you feel like you're not making progress, if you look at yourself in the mirror and don't like what you see, it's not because you're broken. It's not because you're not capable. It's because you've been repeating the same habits that have kept you exactly where you are. So change them. Because here's what happens when you start stacking good habits. You don't just change a little. You don't just improve slightly. You become an entirely new person. You go from someone who struggles to someone who thrives. You go from someone who hesitates to someone who dominates. You go from someone who wants success to someone who lives success. And people will start noticing. They'll say, you've changed. And they'll be right. Because you're no longer thinking about success. You're living it through your habits. Because listen, motivation will fail you. You will not always feel like showing up. You will not always feel inspired. But your habits won't fail you. If you've trained yourself to move, to act, to execute, regardless of how you feel, then nothing can stop you. You have to become the kind of person who does it anyway. Tired? Do it anyway. Busy? Do it anyway. Not in the mood? Do it anyway. Because the moment you stop letting your feelings control you is the moment you become unstoppable. And that's the secret. That's what separates the best from the rest. That's what makes some people rise while others stay stuck. Not talent, not luck, not some magical formula. It's habits. The ones who win don't win because they feel like it every day. They win because they have made winning a habit. So I'll ask you right now, what are your habits saying about you? Are they telling the world that you are committed, disciplined, focused? Or are they proving that you are still making excuses, still waiting for motivation, still letting life control you instead of taking control of it? You want to know why some people make massive transformations in just weeks or months? Because they change what they do. They stop wasting time. They stop making excuses. They stop waiting for someone to push them. And instead, they push themselves. They build habits that match their dreams. They wake up and act like the person they want to be, not the person they used to be. And before they even realize it, their whole life has changed. Because when you change your habits, you don't just change what you do, you change who you are. And once you become someone who is disciplined, who is consistent, who does the work no matter what, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Here's a powerful expansion on silence the doubt. Let me tell you something. Doubt is the number one enemy of success. It's the thing that will hold you back more than anything else. It's the thing that will make you second guess every decision, every step, every moment of growth. And guess what? Everyone experiences doubt. It doesn't matter how successful you are, how much money you've made, how many times you've won. Doubt never goes away. It shows up when you're about to level up. It shows up when you're about to take a risk. It shows up right when you're about to break through to something greater than you ever imagined. But here's the thing you need to understand. Doubt doesn't define you unless you let it. I know what you're thinking, but what if I fail? What if I can't do it? What if I'm not good enough? Here's the reality. If you're thinking about success, about winning, about your future, doubt is always going to be there. It's part of the process. The moment you're about to break through, the moment you're about to reach something big, is the moment doubt will show up. It'll tell you you're not ready. It'll tell you you don't deserve it. It'll try to make you believe that you're not worthy. But listen to me. That voice, that's not you. That voice is fear. That voice is insecurity. That voice is the part of you that is afraid of change. It's afraid of success. It's afraid of stepping into the unknown. And most importantly, it's afraid of your potential. And you know why it's afraid of your potential? Because your potential is limitless. Your potential is untapped. Your potential is what will get you to places you never dreamed of. But doubt knows that, and it tries to hold you back. So here's what you need to do when doubt shows up. Don't listen to it. You need to recognize it for what it is, a temporary emotion, a fleeting thought. And guess what? Emotions and thoughts can be controlled. You don't have to listen to every thought that comes into your head. You don't have to act on every feeling you have. If you did, you'd be living in chaos, running on every whim and impulse. But that's not how winners work. Winners decide to move forward regardless of how they feel. So when doubt creeps in, you shut it down. You tell it, I hear you, but you're not the boss of me. You keep moving. Your journey is yours, and no one can stop you unless you let them. So stop listening to the negativity. Stop listening to the people who don't believe in you. Stop listening to the voices in your head telling you to stop. You don't need their permission. You don't need anyone's approval. You need to be relentless. You have everything inside of you to create the life you want. You have the power to keep going when everyone else would quit. You have the strength to push through when you don't think you can take another step. But you have to make the choice to stay relentless, to never settle, to never stop. Here's what happens when you stay relentless. You build momentum. You build a reputation. You build strength. You build confidence. And guess what? Momentum is a beast. Once you start moving, nothing can stop you. You're unstoppable. And when you're unstoppable, you're on your way to greatness. But none of that happens unless you decide to stay relentless. You have to decide that there is no plan B. You have to decide that there is no turning back. You have to decide that no matter how many times you fall, you will get back up. And you will keep moving forward. And once you make that decision, once you make the choice to stay relentless, the world will have no choice but to step aside and watch you win. They'll watch you rise. They'll watch you achieve. They'll watch you become everything you said you would be. And they'll wonder how you did it. But here's the secret. They won't know the secret because they weren't willing to be relentless. They weren't willing to keep pushing. They weren't willing to stay in the game when it got tough. But you will be. You'll stay relentless. You'll keep going. And that's why you'll win. That's why you'll be unrecognizable. That's why your life will change in ways others can't even fathom. Stay relentless. Keep pushing. Keep showing up. Keep doing the work, and everything else will fall into place. Because relentlessness always wins. Here's a powerful expansion on Find Your Why. Let me tell you something that you cannot overlook. It's not enough to just want something. You need to have a deeper reason. You need to have a purpose so strong, so powerful, that nothing can knock you off course. Find your why. Without a clear, unshakable purpose, everything you do will feel like a battle. Every challenge will seem like a mountain too high to climb, and every setback will feel like it's tearing you down. But when you have a purpose that is bigger than you, a reason that pulls you forward, that's when you become unstoppable. That's when you can go through anything. That's when no obstacle, no failure, no amount of pain can keep you from your goal. I need you to understand this. A why is more than just a goal. A goal is something you can achieve and then move on from. A goal is something you can cross off your list. But your why is the reason you wake up every single day. It's the fuel that keeps you going when everything around you tells you to quit. Without a strong why, you'll lose motivation, you'll hit walls, and you'll stop pushing. You'll say, maybe it's just not meant to be. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. But when your why is clear, when your purpose is powerful, that voice of doubt goes silent. You don't care how hard it gets. You don't care how many times you fail. You keep going because your why is the thing that drives you. So ask yourself this. What is your why? What is the reason you're doing all of this? What is the thing that lights you up from the inside, that makes you keep pushing, even when your body's begging for rest, when your mind tells you it's not worth it? What is the reason that's so important to you that you would do whatever it takes to make it happen? Because listen, if your why isn't strong enough, you will not last. Life is going to test you. There will be days when you want to throw in the towel. There will be days when nothing goes right. There will be days when it feels like the whole world is against you. But if you have a reason, if you have a purpose, if you have something bigger than yourself pulling you forward, you will not stop. You will keep going. You will keep pushing. You will keep fighting. And the reason you'll keep going isn't because of the external rewards. It's not because of money, fame, or status. Those things are nice, but they won't sustain you when times get tough. No, the real reason you keep going is because your why connects to your core. It connects to your heart. It connects to your soul. It's something that is so deeply ingrained in you that you cannot imagine living without fulfilling it. Maybe your why is to create a better life for your family. Maybe your why is to inspire others to keep going when they want to quit. Maybe your why is to prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you ever thought possible. Whatever it is, I need you to understand this. Your why is the reason you get up every single day and keep moving forward even when you don't feel like it. When you've got a clear, unwavering sense of your why, it changes everything. It makes the tough times easier to endure. It makes the sacrifices feel worth it. It turns every obstacle into an opportunity. Think about this. Every single successful person you know, every person who has achieved greatness has one thing in common. They all had a powerful reason to keep going. They all had something inside them that was bigger than themselves. They all had a reason that kept them moving forward when everyone else would have given up. And the reason they succeeded wasn't because they had it easier. It wasn't because they were lucky. It wasn't because they had some magical formula for success. They succeeded because they had a purpose. They had something to fight for. They had something to prove, not to anyone else, but to themselves. Now, I want you to take a moment and think about your why, because it's not just something to consider, it's something to live by. It's the thing that will push you past your limits. It's the thing that will make you unrecognizable. It's the thing that will keep you going when you want to give up. You see, when you don't have a why, you will struggle to stay motivated. You'll look around at everyone else and wonder how they're keeping up, how they're making it through. But when you have a clear and powerful reason, you'll stop looking to others. You'll stop worrying about what everyone else is doing, and you'll start focusing on what's most important, your reason. And guess what? Your why will make you stronger. It'll make you more focused. It'll make you more determined. Your why will become the driving force behind everything you do. It will give you the energy to keep going, even when everything is trying to stop you. So what does your why look like? What does it sound like? When you're lying in bed at night thinking about all the things you want to accomplish, what's the thing that keeps you awake? What's the thing that pulls you out of bed in the morning, ready to take on the day? Your why is not some vague, wishy-washy concept. It's not something you should have to think about. It should be crystal clear. It should be so vivid in your mind that you can see it, feel it, taste it. Your why should be the thing that motivates you to take action, the thing that keeps you from backing down, the thing that makes you unstoppable. Because listen, you will face setbacks, you will face criticism, you will face people who don't believe in you, people who tell you to quit, people who tell you you're crazy for dreaming as big as you are. But when you have a solid why, those voices won't matter. When you know exactly why you're doing this, nothing can stop you. And that's when you'll start to see the results. That's when you'll start to see the transformation. Because you won't just be going through the motions. You won't just be checking off a list of goals. You'll be living with purpose. You'll be living with passion. You'll be living with fire. And that's when the world will start to take notice. Your why will keep you going when the going gets tough. It will be the thing that pushes you to do more than you ever thought you could. And when you look back at all the challenges you've overcome, you'll realize that your why was the one thing that never wavered. It was the thing that carried you through. So find your why, hold on to it. And when you feel like giving up, remember why you started, because that why will make all the difference. It will make you unbreakable, it will make you relentless, and it will make you unstoppable.